1 minute to David Serpa.
Okay, thank you for giving me a shot at this. One of the things that we need to think about with these warehouses, first off, we're already the largest concentration of warehouses anywhere in the world. And that's because we are a shipping hub. We ship to Las Vegas, we ship to San Diego, we ship to LA, we ship to Orange County. And so we need to keep some of that wealth here in our community. And so what will I do? What will you do? Let's unionize Amazon, Target, Walmart, and let's start keeping that wealth in our communities. I already talked to the Teamsters about this last week.
Yep.
Let's partner with the Teamsters and let's teach our children a trade while they're in high school. So we're launching young union members into the world that can afford to launch, afford to buy a house, afford to start a family, and afford to buy groceries.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm getting all the names here right. Hold on 1 second. Ron Edwards, what would you do about the issue of warehouse saturation, quality of life, and air quality?
Well, I think
1 minute.
I think Daryl mentioned something that I'm kind of I believe in. The people here, the citizens, they only have so much education. So you have to look at the demographic that you have. You can't apply for a job if you don't have the qualifications and skills. So those jobs are here. You can make good money in warehousing jobs. I work warehousing jobs. I work 7 days a week, 12-hour days. Me and my wife, like I say, 40 years married. I have rental property. But it's some things we have to do, and society is going to have to do a course correction. One of the things is, I tell people, and this is my prescription, Dr. Ron Edwards, go to work, get married, stay married, raise your own
Children.
kids.
Yes.
Say it again. Go to work. Pull your pants up and go to work. Get married.
Amen. I got
Stay
you.
married.
I got it. Thank you. Thank you. We've got. Here's the next question.
Water infrastructure, energy infrastructure, healthcare infrastructure on your dollar, and then we sell it off to private enterprise.
Yep.
And then when private enterprise doesn't run it right, doesn't run our energy sector right, doesn't run our water right, we bail them out.
Right.
And I'm tired of bailing out companies like PG&E who have 85 manslaughter charges in the last 10 years when nuclear energy is the future. So I would love to invest in nuclear energy. For a fraction of what we sent to Ukraine in the initial aid package, we could have lined our coasts and desalination plants, invested in nuclear energy, and powered this shining city far into the future. Because if we're going to be a shining city on the hill, we got to have the lights on, and we got to have the water in the taps.
Yeah.
Same question to Ron Edwards. We got one more round, then we're going to open this up to a few questions from the audience, and we're on time. We'll wrap up at 8 p.m. I got you. So, Ron Edwards, the condition of our roads, bridges, and infrastructure. This is a state and federal question. Need improvement. This also should be a local question. But anyway, if elected, what are your solutions to improve our aging infrastructure? And let me also say, just so you don't think, none of these questions I came up with, you all have no opinion where I stand. These are just questions that came in from the public, and these are the ones that got the most votes. Amen?
Amen.
Okay.
Well, I'll start with energy and utilities. Energy. All of our problems stem from energy. The United States of America has more than enough energy. We have a surplus of energy. We can sell energy like crazy and have money to give everybody. Number two, our energy is the cleanest energy in the world. Cleaner than China, cleaner than Russia, name a place. It's the cleanest. Our technology is the best. Our people are the best. We're the hardest working people in the world. Reward us. Reward us. Reward us. Government, get out of our way and let us outwork the guy. I never saw my grandfather with his pants hanging on the ground. I never saw my father with his pants hanging on the ground. My son never saw me. My son graduated a straight A student, calculus 2, physics 2. We got to get back to work.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
Love it.
This is a school board question. We're almost wrapping up to open up to the public.
What we do here in this country is we develop water infrastructure, energy infrastructure, healthcare infrastructure on your dollar, and then we sell it off to private enterprise.
Yep.
And then when private enterprise doesn't run it right, doesn't run our energy sector right, doesn't run our water right, we bail them out.
Right.
And I'm tired of bailing out companies like PG&E who have 85 manslaughter charges in the last 10 years when nuclear energy is the future. So I would love to invest in nuclear energy. For a fraction of what we sent to Ukraine in the initial aid package, we could have lined our coasts and desalination plants, invested in nuclear energy, and powered this shining city far into the future. Because if we're going to be a shining city on the hill, we got to have the lights on, and we got to have the water in the taps.
Yeah.
Same question to Ron Edwards. We got one more round, then we're going to open this up to a few questions from the audience, and we're on time. We'll wrap up at 8 p.m. I got you. So, Ron Edwards, the condition of our roads, bridges, and infrastructure. This is a state and federal question. Need improvement. This also should be a local question. But anyway, if elected, what are your solutions to improve our aging infrastructure? And let me also say, just so you don't think, none of these questions I came up with, you all have no opinion where I stand. These are just questions that came in from the public, and these are the ones that got the most votes. Amen?
Amen.
Okay.
Well, I'll start with energy and utilities. Energy. All of our problems stem from energy. The United States of America has more than enough energy. We have a surplus of energy. We can sell energy like crazy and have money to give everybody. Number two, our energy is the cleanest energy in the world. Cleaner than China, cleaner than Russia, name a place. It's the cleanest. Our technology is the best. Our people are the best. We're the hardest working people in the world. Reward us. Reward us. Reward us. Government, get out of our way and let us outwork the guy. I never saw my grandfather with his pants hanging on the ground. I never saw my father with his pants hanging on the ground. My son never saw me. My son graduated a straight A student, calculus 2, physics 2. We got to get back to work.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
Love it.
This is a school board question. How can you protect students while on campus? Let me repeat that. How can you protect students while on campus without over-policing our schools and without contributing to the school-to-prison pipeline?
Oh,
It's an interesting question.
oh, we need more than a minute for that.
Well, you have 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. You want me to go first? Okay. Let's start with the school-to-prison pipeline.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's very important. Well, as you know, research shows by 3rd grade, they take those statistics to determine how many prisons need to be built, which is sad. One way we can eliminate the school-to-prison pipeline, let's start with what we call equity training. We need to look at who the people are we're putting before our children. Those people who are in those classrooms who are working with our children every single day. And I can give you an example. As a former principal, child gets to school at 8 o'clock. At 8:05, they're in my office. Wait a minute, 5 minutes? Why is this child here? Well, they were disrespectful. Child's trying to explain why they were late for school. So some children, they're determined to be either aggressive or assertive. I, as the instructional leader, take the child back to the classroom. So that goes back to training our teachers. It is about what's equity. It is about being sensitive to our children. But we have to provide incentives for our children. We need to be motivating. We need to encourage our children. And for me, it's all about building relationships with our kids. When your students know you, that you care about them, they're going to bend over backwards because they know you're going to do everything that you can to protect them. Now, let's talk about safe schools. Since I got 30 seconds. Oh, I'm out of time?
30 seconds.
I got 30 seconds. First of all, because that is one of my platforms, safe schools. In order for our parents to feel comfortable sending their children every day and our students feeling comfortable being there every day, we have to make sure that they feel safe. What does that look like? Well, we have fire drills. We have earthquake drills, but we also have to hold our students accountable. The bullying has to stop. And I am a firm believer, as a current board member, I want a ban on cell phones during the instructional day. They're taking photos and putting them on the internet.
Yeah.
It's inappropriate.
Tom, thank you. This is a really important question. As a pastor, this is one of the most compelling questions that we've asked tonight. How can you protect students while on campus without over-policing our schools and without contributing to the school-to-prison pipeline? Susan Smith.
Thank you. That's a big question.
Yep.
Safety and security is one of the things that we on the school board take very seriously. We have increased security measures at all of our schools. If you've been to a school lately, you know that the fences are a little higher. We don't want to create a prison-like look, but we don't want people to get in either. When you check into a school, you need to go through the office, check in with the office. You can't just walk on campus anymore and just be there. So we're trying to keep our students safe by making what you might call a barrier to entry so that only people that really have business in the school can be there. We also are talking about name tags. I think in the school shooting in Georgia, you heard about name tags that where you can press a button on the back of your tag to call for assistance. And they said that was one of the factors that got assistance there quicker. And I think in any kind of a situation, we want assistance rapidly, a rapid response. We do have a police, we do work with the sheriff's deputies. They have a presence on our campuses, and we have used them. And I think that we need that without overdoing it. I'll just say that. We don't want them to feel like they're being watched all the time and there's always somebody there, but we want to keep our students safe and secure, and we want parents to feel that they can be confident sending their kids to school, that they're going to be safe. So now, school to prison pipeline, I'm barely getting started on number 2.
It's a big one.
One of the things we can do to help our school to prison pipeline, the thing that keeps you out of prison is education and a job. And we work with career technical education in our schools. We have several programs that students get into in high school that will help them to get a job when they get out of high school. So, we prepare kids for college too, but not all kids are going to go to college. Those that don't go to college need a career that they are prepared for. And we work a lot on that preparation for a career. I'm sorry, I stopped looking over at you.
No, you're doing great. This is the last question. Amen? Yeah. You can when you have your time in a minute. I will kind of cruise going right on through to Hector. So, Elena, if you'd start, what else do you want us to know about you as we head to the November 5th election? Share your closing statement or your closing argument, and I won't ask the question again so everyone can just go.
Is it 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
So I want to start off by saying, first of all, sometimes the best man for a job is a woman. All right. I got you there, Mr. Edwards. I guess I wanted to also say that I also am a parent and grandparent. My children went through these schools. I've lived in Moreno Valley since 1990. I only am running against one other person. This month is her first year anniversary, so she's new to our city. I've been in the chamber of the city council for at least the last 10 years. If I'm not, I also watch the city council, the planning commission, the college board. I listen to the headphones, the other meetings, and the supervisors sometimes. I'm very invested. I'm engaged in government. I enjoy what I'm doing. It's been both an honor and a pleasure to serve you the last 2 years. And I'm knocking on doors and I'm asking that if I've done a good job, re-elect me. I also want to say that I currently represent the city in the school joint task force at the Western Riverside Council of Governments, and also the Library Commission, the Environmental Historical Preservation Commission, and those are all my assignments as the council member. And I am also want to share my endorsements. I was recently endorsed by the Democratic Party, by the Riverside Sheriff's Association, CAL FIRE, the Council of Labor, the Carpenters. I am supported by my colleagues, both Councilmember Ed Delgado and Mayor Pro Tem Shaylin Bernard. I'm also endorsed by our assembly members, Jose Medina and Sabrina Cervantes. Jose is, of course, retired, as well as our supervisor, Extreme Gutierrez. I'm also endorsed by Latinas Lead and the Honor, who are supporters of LGBTQIA+ community. So I have nearly all the endorsements because I've been doing the work, and honestly, it's just been my honor to serve you. So
Yeah.
that'll be it.
Well, same question. I was ready for you to prompt me with the question. No worries. I'm running for city council here in District 3 because I care a lot about Moreno Valley. I care a lot about the city that I was grown up in, that has shaped me. This is the city where my mother lives, my grandmother, my nephews go to school. I care a lot about Moreno Valley, and I care a lot about District 3. Again, I've spent the last 10 years, the better part of 10 years, across each level of government, making sure that I had the credibility and the confidence to strongly step into city government and lead our city in the next 5 to 10 years. We need leadership that has strong vision and bold planning. One thing that you wouldn't know, that was your question, the last time Moreno Valley, the first time actually Moreno Valley elected a black man to council was in 1994. I would be the second black man elected to this city in our city's history. Moreno Valley is the fastest growing city in the Inland Empire, and it has the largest black population in the Inland Empire. Representation does matter. It mattered to me when I was a little boy, and it matters to the little boys out there as well. So I'm running for City Council District 3, again, the only candidate that made the time to show up tonight, and I look forward to answering your other questions after this, because again, I care. I care about our city, and I'm at a point in my life where I feel like, again, working across every level of government, I'm ready and confident to step into city leadership, and hopefully lead our city into a prosperous 5 to 10 next years. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your closing statement, amen. Your closing statement.
I want to say I'm a planning commissioner. I'm a humble person. I work 2 jobs. I work at Stater Brothers and I work at Lowe's. I know what people are going through. As my job as mayor will be to keep everybody in this room safe. To make sure you have a chance to live your American dream in this city. I know for the past 30 years I've gone to council meetings. I presented ideas, I advocated ideas, 26 of them been adopted. I go to councils throughout this county presenting ideas because I care about the people in our community. Because it only doesn't affect, it affects everybody. And the thing about me that you may not know, people say, how in the world you do all this and you're a planning commissioner? Because I care. I make it my business because I listen to people who come through my line, self-checkout, bagging groceries, what's on their mind. They tell me anyway, but I don't want to hear it. They're like, hey, decisions. My granddaddy going to get killed by whatever. But the point is, I care about you guys in here. Like I said, I want to make sure that this generation, the next generation, will have opportunities that we can only dream of. Because it's not going to, I may not be here to see it, but they will. And that's something that I'll be proud of. To make sure that all of you, like I said, that you're safe. That's the number one priority as a mayor, is to make sure that you're safe. And that's something I will promise that I will do.
All right.
David, sir, for your closing statement.
Okay, thank you, everybody. So first off, my campaign slogan, when we started this thing 20 months ago, we decided it was going to be, it must be love. Because why else would you do something like this? Hate is not going to do. So we're going to need to focus on love. We also have on every sign, it's not left versus right, it's time to unite. Now in 2018, I went through a mental and spiritual crisis, which led to a mental and spiritual breakthrough. And I checked myself into the VA in February of 2018. Because I believed that, when I found out that I was autistic, and I found out that I'm bipolar 2, and we get stressed out, and our mental health issues that are exacerbated by this culture, it's because if your hair is on fire, you should probably act like your hair is on fire. And there's a lot of us who are struggling mentally because our society is not conducive to mental well-being. So I focus on things that I feel like are common sense. Water, energy, defense, healthcare, education, Last night when we were at an event, a Democrat stood up in the front row and she said, "I just want to shake your hand. You sound like a Democrat." So I shook her hand. And then the next question, a man stood up in the back row with a Trump hat on, and he said, "I want to let you know that David Serpa is the hardest working candidate in Riverside County. He's knocking on doors. He's at every event." And I said, "You know what? That's a good night. If I could get a Democrat and a guy in a Trump hat to agree on something, I feel like we're doing something right." And so, I too have been working 2 jobs. I've been driving Uber. There have been times that I've driven to a campaign stop, and I don't know how I'm going to get back. So I got to drive Uber to get gas, cash it out, and then to head back home. My grandpa passed away. My sister left the state. My good friend Rick is going to be leaving the state. My mom had a stroke yesterday. I can tell you, this has been one of the roughest 2 years of my life. Yeah. But like I said, I'm willing to die for it. So thank you guys.
Amen. Amen.
Ron Edwards, your closing statement.
All right, guys, you got choices to make. It's between me and Corey Jackson. This California state is a beautiful state. We're going to lose our state. It's not going to be beautiful. It's going to be a hellhole. It's going to be like San Francisco. It's going to be like Oakland. It's going to be like parts of LA. I lived in Watts, Compton, and LA. We don't want it like that. Gavin Newsom and these Democrats took $320 billion from you. Number one, they didn't give you a receipt. Number two, they didn't give you no change. What they raised me at when I lived in Compton, LA, and Watts, go to the store, boy, give me a list, I go pick up something, they give me the money, I come back, I give them what they told me to go get, I give them their change, and I give them a receipt. Gavin Newsom hasn't given you a receipt, and he hasn't given you any change. We don't have a shortage of money in this country and in this California. We got a shortage of men that's able to judge. We got a shortage of men that fear God. We got a shortage of men that love truth. We got a shortage of men that hate covetousness, that can't be bribed. And we got a shortage of men that have God's spirit in them.
Thank you.
Love it.
Ruth Self-Williams, your closing statement.
Yes.
Your closing statement.
Okay, thank you. All right. First of all, I have been here for 34 years. I was recruited to Moreno Valley in 1990 with 14 years of teaching experience. It was the fastest growing city in the country at the time. Mm-hmm. I came here and it was a culture shock for me. As far as minorities, I looked around. Okay. The city has transitioned tremendously. Tremendously. What I have to tell you, my motto is standing for our students. And the reason why I'm passionate about being a school board member is because I have 2 children who graduated from this district. Marcel graduated in 1994 from Canyon Springs High School. Miranda graduated in 1996 from Canyon Springs High School. I taught in this district. I was an assistant principal in this district. And then I went on to become a principal, but I was recruited by Riverside Unified. Mm-hmm. But anyway, what I want to say about my role as a trustee is to ensure that our students have safe schools, that we increase student achievement, that also that we provide high quality research-based instruction, and last but not least, accountability is important for me. How we spend our dollars. We as board members make decisions about our resources, how those dollars are spent. And for me, it needs to be in the center, which is the children. Classroom first. You never ever touch this area. Let's see where else we can cut. But our children deserve to have the best. And I'm going to continue to do that as a board member in Trustee Area 5, putting our children first.
Thank you, Sister Ruth. Thank you. Susan Smith, your closing statement.
Well, thank you. I really didn't prepare a closing statement, but I'm happy to be here to say a few things. As I said, my background is in education. That's where I've always been. That's where my heart is. And my heart is there because it's with the students. Sometimes when I go into classrooms now as a board member, I feel that little, maybe I should still be there. Because I love it so much. I love working with those kids. I never became an administrative because I just loved what I was doing in the classroom, working with the kids directly. Nothing against administrators, that just was not where I wanted to be. So some of my goals for the district, one of them, as Ruth said, is to focus on finances. We have had a financial crisis, if you don't know it, in Moreno Valley Unified School District this past year. And we have been working hard to overcome that. We had somebody from the county come out and give a presentation at our board meeting because we were on the verge of having the county come over and audit every single expenditure we made because our money had been spent so poorly over the last few years. So finances are very important. We can't educate kids if we don't spend the money in the right place. And for me, that's spending in the classroom. We focus on college and career readiness. Let's prepare kids for college. Let's prepare them for careers. Let's give them some place to go other than working in a warehouse, really. Let's find ways that they can be successful in life. Chronic absenteeism, I think I mentioned earlier, we must overcome our tendency to chronic absenteeism and help those students that have problems. Those students that we need to focus on our homeless youth, our foster youth, our English learner, and our African American students. Those kids have been underachieving for a long time, and we need to put our resources with them and to help those students wherever we can. We need safe schools. We need to...
Time, Susan.
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. No, you're doing great. Good time. Thank you so much.
Anyway, I look forward to being your representative in Area 2.
Thank you, Susan Smith. Thank you. We've got 2 left, and then we're actually, guys, we are on time. We are going to open it up for questions. You've stayed this long. We're going to open up for some questions for the candidates. Patsy D. Brown, your closing statement.
All right. Well, I can say that you can call me Dr. Patsy Brown, shoot from the hip Brown. I'm very plain spoken. I'm very straightforward. I think in the political arena is too much rhetoric. And I sat here and heard statistics being thrown out that I know for myself are inaccurate. What you need is somebody that's going to cut through the chase and tell you exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, why they're going to do it, where they're going to do it. I've been on the streets of Moreno Valley dealing with the homeless, dealing with those that have they're unhoused, as you would. I'm a pastor, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. All my grandchildren went to school here. I've been implementing innovative programs as a citizen of this city. I believe I'm the best candidate because we need, at this time, people that cut through the rhetoric. All this political rhetoric that's going on is not getting us anywhere. Moreno Valley is a good city. It's a rich city. Our resources are not being spent as well as it could be. And I believe that I have a voice to make sure that you understand what is coming out of my mouth. I'm not going to try to sway your mind with throwing out a whole bunch of statistics that mean absolutely nothing. We need better roads. We need better homeless programs. We need more housing. We need better ties up with the education department and with the city. And I have worked and done those. I can put my money where my mouth is. So I believe that I am the best candidate for this time and for this city, Moreno Valley.
There you go. Hector Diaz, some would say save the best for last, Hector, so make it great. Your closing statement.
Yeah, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. One of my biggest problems is that I'm a workaholic. So I started working at the age of 7, helping my parents out to bring money to the house and also going to school at the same time. As a teenager, I was picking strawberries, potatoes, tomatoes. I was working in the fields and trying to make some money to go to school. I come from a large family, 11. I'm the youngest one. As you can tell, my parents didn't have a TV back then. And I'm the only one that had the opportunity to go to school here. I went to college, I went to University of Fulton. I have a degree in criminal justice, I have one in political science, and also in business administration as well. So I became a business owner when I was like 25 years old. And now, I'm a real estate broker. I'm a mortgage broker, insurance broker, body shop owner, and also I used to be a restaurant owner as well. for about 10 years in the city of Moreno Valley. Restaurant industry is the toughest one, so don't ever go up to that industry. You have to marry the business.
Right.
And I have 2 boys. I got married. I have 2 boys, and let me tell you that with my educational skills in different industries, I believe that I have what it takes to lead the city. I believe that I have the all the tools, the necessary tools to work with all of you guys. And I know that if we work together, we can make a better Moreno Valley. Thank you.
Thank you, Hector. Thank you very much. Why don't you give them all a hand clap of praise? I'll make my very brief statement now, and then I'm going to open up to questions. Then I'll do a 30-second call to action and a benediction. Amen?
Yeah, that was good.
Donald Trump is not in the room tonight, right?
No.
Vice President Harris is not in the room tonight, right? It seems to me that these candidates, all of them across the spectrum, it seems that they care about what they're talking about. It seems that they're passionate. You heard, I think, one side say that they weren't necessarily justice warriors in particular, or environmentalists in particular. You heard another side talk about being pro-union. And so I think that tonight is an opportunity at the local level here for us to take a look at what the candidates have to say and to take them at their word. That they mean what they say, that they care about the community, and for you to evaluate with yourself, your spirit, use your spirit discernment, take a look at where they really stand, dig deep on your own, and I'll just do the call to action now. The call to action is to vote. Amen? The call to action is to vote, and not just your pocketbook, but vote your community, vote your heart, vote your spirit. Vote your God, vote your conscience, amen? So the call to action is to vote and really dig deep, get past the words and find out where they really stand, each of them, and those whom you can get behind. And with that, before the benediction, we'll open this up to 4 questions. Who has questions tonight? Starting with you.
Warehouses, one time. However, Moreno Valley was slated to have the largest warehouse development
In the world.
in the Inland Empire. 40+ million square feet of warehouse spaces, was a place called World Logistics, so forth and so on. That never happened. However,
The logistics center is open.
well, hold on. However, the 40+ million square feet of warehouse was built in Riverside, from Hunter Park in North Riverside all the way to Ryder in Paris, and from Peacock by the airport all the way to Barton. That area is called Meridian. That's where the warehouses are. They're not mainly in Moreno Valley. So what you need to focus on, we need to focus on, is where is the packaged good logistic industry going? What is that going to be in the future? The jobs that are going to come there. Amazon states that it wants 500 million of its packages to be delivered to the home by drones. That's called the last mile. So if we don't alert our people to get on the 21st century job skills, we will lose those industries. We will lose those jobs.
And what's the question? This
So
is a
the
great
question
point.
is,
What's the question? Yeah.
What can you do as government officials and leaders of education to prepare our youth in this city for the 21st century job economy?
Yeah, that's good.
Create a new job. Nobody was a supply chain technician, maintenance mechanic, automation mechanic. Those are all the different titles that they have. Nobody had ever been that before. So what we did was you get industry in the room. You call Target, you call Home Depot, you call Amazon, and you say, would you guys come over and sit down? So we'd sit them down in a hollow square, put the big Post-its on the door, and it says, okay, well, what do you need? You say, I need somebody that knows electronics. Okay, put electronics. Well, I need somebody that knows, that can read like schematics, so we put the schematics. And so we get the whole list of what they needed to know.
The council member
We said, okay,
was
well,
saying
if you look at
that we should link up the same way as Craig was saying with Amazon and create that curriculum to create those career paths to those positions because they have economic mobility. But like again before, we're surrounded, but people can't get to those jobs. We have to go other places, Norco, Riverside. We have Reno Valley College right here. It's underutilized. Our career tech education programs do not reflect what's in the community. We've been talking about logistics training facilities, it's time to do it. When I'm mayor, we're going to have it. I'm working with the council member right here. We're going to make it happen. We're going to stop talking about it, and we're going to do it.
Time. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take two more for this question and move on to the next question. 21st century jobs in a city where there seems to be a whole lot of 20th century training. Anybody else have a comment about that?
Yes, my statistics are incredibly accurate. That's mainly what I do is I study, Google what I wrote or what I've said here tonight, and call me on my cell phone. It's on my website. Let me know if there's anything that I said that's wrong. We have a fake economy. It's based on sales, shipping, and service. We sell crap that we didn't make, we ship crap that we didn't make, and we service people while they're buying crap that we didn't make here. Amazon, the largest employer, or the second largest employer in the world, just hired 750,000 robots. Hired, right? Bought 750,000 robots. AI is going to change the world. We are going to be facing massive unemployment. That's the truth. We have to give Americans ownership of this economy by bringing about something that I call the American dividend, which would give everyone a monthly payment based on the previous quarter's gross domestic product. Because if America is doing well, Americans should do well. Just like Alaska pays an oil dividend, just like natives pay a check based on how well their casinos are doing, that's what we need to be doing in America based on what we're doing so that we can free up more people to have more financial freedom in their life.
Thank you, David. One more comment on this question.
I want to ditto Councilwoman Bachman, and I'm sorry, and the young man
Yes,
next
Jackson,
to her.
City Council, District 3.
There you go.
Jackson, how come I didn't remember that?
We'll remember.
But anyway, my former background was
Collegiality. As you know, some schools districts have passed laws that if a student is identifying as transgender in school, that the parents must be notified. That has gone to court and found to be unconstitutional. We don't do that in Moreno Valley. I feel like students need somebody to talk to, and I hope that that person will always be their parents, that the first person they feel they can confide in will be their parents. But if they don't feel comfortable confiding in their parents, and they instead confide in a teacher or other school employee that they feel close to, then I don't think that school employee should be forced to notify the parents. That is not our job to come between that parent-student relationship. Students need a safe place to be, and sometimes that safe place, and I hope that safe
They
place
wanted parents to be aware if a student was transgender. They wanted them identified by whatever is on the birth certificate. You also have students who are considered non-binary. They don't identify with either sex, boy or girl. What's important is that it is about the kids. Kids need to have a safe place to go. Some are not safe in their own homes. They need a place where they feel safe. On top of that, we develop relationships with our kids. They are, many of them, attached to an adult. They're attached to certain friends. And because of confidentiality, there are certain things we cannot share. And whatever is on that birth certificate, we don't alter any records. That's against the law. So whatever's on that record is it. But you do have students who will say, well, I prefer to be called he, she, it, what have you. It is not for us, we're not the parents, to question it. So as far as this board, we are talking about implementing a policy. It is about protecting our kids first. We have children who are committing suicide. They need to feel valued. They need to feel wanted. They need to feel respected. And I personally, having been a school administrator, our kids are happy when they come to school.